Imagine a world not so long ago, a world torn apart by a great conflict. This was a time before the internet, before instant global visibility. The Second World War had been raging for years from the fields of Europe to the vast Pacific Ocean. Nations poured in their wealth, their resources, their young people. It was a struggle of ideologies, of empires, of survival. In the quiet deserts of New Mexico, a secret city rose from the dust. It was called Los Alamos, but it was not on any map. This was the heart of the Manhattan Project, the most ambitious and clandestine scientific undertaking in history. The United States government gathered the brightest minds from around the world. Physicists, chemists, engineers worked day and night, their mission shrouded in absolute secrecy. Their families suspected importance but could never know the true nature of the work. They were tasked with a monumental challenge, to take a theoretical concept, atomic fission, and turn it into a weapon. From uranium enrichment plants in Tennessee to plutonium production reactors in Washington state, a vast industrial network rose in secret. Pioneers explored a frontier where matter could become catastrophic energy. If you could split this particle, you could release an unprecedented burst of energy. On July 16, 1945, at Trinity, their work reached terrifying fruition. The morning of August 6, 1945 began like any other in Hiroshima. It was a clear, sunny Monday. The city, a vital military and industrial hub, had so far been spared the devastating firebombing that had leveled many other Japanese cities. Children walked to school, adults commuted to their jobs. The streets were filled with the normal sounds of a city waking up. An air raid alert had sounded earlier but was soon lifted, as only a few American planes were spotted. People felt a sense of relief and returned to their daily tasks, unaware that their world was about to be shattered. At exactly 8:15 a.m., high above the city, a B-29 bomber named the Enola Gay opened its bomb bay doors. It released a single large bomb codenamed Little Boy. The bomb fell for 43 seconds. It was set to detonate about 2,000 feet above the city center. At that precise moment, a silent, blinding flash of light filled the sky. It was a light that was not of this world. It was hotter and brighter than the sun. In that single, terrifying instant, the city of Hiroshima was subjected to an incredible wave of heat and energy, a force that vaporized everything and everyone near its center. What followed was a wave of destruction that defied comprehension. The city was gone. The heat ray, traveling at the speed of light, incinerated people, leaving only their shadows burned onto walls and pavement. The few who survived the initial blast were left with horrific burns and injuries. It was the end of their world. Just 3 days after the world was changed forever over Hiroshima, the gears of war continued to turn. The Japanese government, stunned and struggling to comprehend the scale of the destruction, had not yet surrendered. In Washington, the decision was made to proceed with a second atomic attack. The primary target for this mission was the city of Kokura. A B-29 bomber named Boxcar took off, carrying another, more powerful type of atomic bomb. This one was nicknamed Fat Man. It was a plutonium-based weapon, a different design from the uranium bomb used on Hiroshima. However, when Boxcar arrived over Kokura, the city was hidden. Thick clouds and smoke from a nearby bombing obscured the target. The plane circled 3 times, burning precious fuel, but the city remained invisible. With fuel running low, the crew had to make a critical decision. They abandoned their primary target and flew towards their secondary objective, the city of Nagasaki. Nagasaki was one of Japan's most important port cities. Its unique geography, with hills and valleys dividing the city, would play a crucial role in what was about to happen. At 11:02 a.m., a break in the clouds offered a fleeting glimpse. The bombardier released Fat Man. The bomb fell, detonating over the Urakami Valley. The hills that surrounded the valley contained and channeled the blast, concentrating destruction within the valley. The city's famous Urakami Cathedral was obliterated. Homes, schools, and factories were wiped from existence. For the second time in just 3 days, a Japanese city had been subjected to the horror of a nuclear attack. The impact of the atomic bombs was not just about flattened cities and mushroom clouds. It was about people. It was about the tens of thousands of individual lives that were extinguished in a flash, and the countless others that were forever scarred, both physically and emotionally. They searched for loved ones amidst the rubble, often finding nothing, or worse. The very air they breathed was filled with the invisible poison of radiation. In the days and weeks that followed, many fell ill with mysterious symptoms: hair loss, purple spots, uncontrollable bleeding. Science was only beginning to understand radiation sickness. The Hibakusha were haunted by what they had seen. They lived with a profound sense of loss. They also faced discrimination, making it difficult to find work or to marry. It was a story of pain, loss, and resilience passed down through generations. Why were these terrible weapons used? This question has been debated by historians, politicians, and ethicists. The official reason was straightforward: a grim calculation of war. Battles like Iwo Jima and Okinawa were incredibly bloody, with huge casualties on both sides. American planners projected a full-scale invasion, Operation Downfall, with estimates of up to 1 million American casualties and many millions of Japanese deaths. President Harry S. Truman and his advisors saw the bomb as a way to end the war quickly and save lives. Other interpretations suggest a message to the Soviet Union, to demonstrate power and shape post-war geopolitics. The decision was a tangled web of military strategy, political maneuvering, and the terrifying logic of total war. Debate continues. Were the bombs necessary? The news of Hiroshima and Nagasaki sent a shockwave across the globe. The photographs of the flattened cities and the accounts of survivors forced the world to confront a new reality. Scientists who had worked on the Manhattan Project were among the first to sound the alarm. Many were horrified by what they had created. Figures like Albert Einstein and J. Robert Oppenheimer became powerful advocates for international control of nuclear energy. They warned that a nuclear arms race would be a path to disaster. The United States and the Soviet Union embarked on a frantic arms race. Each side built thousands of weapons. Civilians practiced drills under the shadow of mutually assured destruction. The mushroom cloud became a symbol not of victory but of humanity's capacity for self-annihilation. The bombings were the beginning of a new and permanent state of global anxiety. The ashes of Hiroshima and Nagasaki hold powerful lessons for all of humanity. The most immediate lesson is the indiscriminate nature of modern warfare. The atomic bomb did not distinguish between soldiers, civilians, adults, children. Another lesson is the responsibility that comes with scientific knowledge. The scientists were brilliant people caught in a desperate time. Their experience teaches us to think about ethical implications of our creations. The invisible poison of radiation can linger for generations, causing cancer, birth defects, and other illnesses. A nuclear war is unwinnable. There is no victory, only varying degrees of defeat and a legacy of pain. Ultimately, the story is a lesson in empathy. By listening to survivors, we move beyond statistics and connect with human tragedy. This empathy is the foundation upon which a more peaceful world can be built. Out of the unimaginable destruction of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, a powerful and enduring message of peace was born. The survivors, the Hibakusha, have dedicated their lives to ensuring that no one else ever suffers their fate. They have traveled the world sharing painful stories, advocating for abolition of nuclear weapons. Their motto, "Never Again," is a global rallying cry. In the decades since 1945, Hiroshima and Nagasaki have risen from the ashes and been rebuilt into vibrant cities. At the heart of each city lies a peace memorial park. These parks are classrooms for the world. The story of Sadako Sasaki and her 1,000 paper cranes became a global symbol of hope. As we stand here today, 80 years have passed since those fateful days. Nuclear weapons still exist. The memory provides a moral anchor. It calls on each of us to be advocates for peace, to promote dialogue over conflict, and to work toward a world free from nuclear annihilation. The hope of never again is a vow we must renew every day.